What's going on here?
Hydra deserves its place on the ash heap.
I mean, his head wasn't that low to begin with.
And he could just open his mouth. Air. Welcome to GVSV.
Welcome back to GVSV. This is Alex and Carl. And today, we're going to watch our first Marvel-related property.
I feel for you during the editing process of this.
Why?
I don't know how we're going to get this across the finish line. It's going to be interesting.
With copyright?
Yeah, man.
It can't be any worse than The Last of Us. The Last of Us was so bad that I had to pull this is a conversation we need to have.
Yeah.
Yeah. But before we go off the rails, what is your earliest Marvel memory?
I mean, I used to collect comic books. Not to the extent that you do.
But here's the thing. When I was young, I never collected comic books.
I would go spend my lunch money instead of eating, buy comic books.
And then it was one of our mutual friends from high school. I ended up having her. So I guess for me, my first introduction to Marvel was probably TV shows like The Incredible Hulk.
Okay.
And then once the X-Men animated series came out, like obviously I got very engrossed in that world and those characters. And then one of our mutual friends from high school, we would sit on the phone after school and she would retell me the tales from the comics.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That's interesting. So my first introduction to the Marvel universe was from the comic books.
Yes.
Like
80s? 80s?
Somebody bought me a Spider-Man comic book.
Okay.
And that was it, baby. Off to the races.
Off to the races.
Off to the races. I gave my collection away.
Yeah.
But I had the very first She-Hulk.
Okay.
Very first War Machine.
Okay.
Venom.
Yeah.
I had Spider-Man Marvel come out with a incredible Spider-Man series, and you could buy it in 3 different covers. I had all 3 covers.
Yeah.
I had the Doomsday Supermans.
Yeah.
All 3 covers.
Yeah.
Unopened. All right. I mean, and I gave this collection away. I had a lot of old X-Men.
Yeah.
Like really prime X-Men stuff.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Iron Man.
Okay.
Not a huge Captain America guy.
There you go.
All right.
So
a bit of a weeb.
So in other words, this movie is perfect for us. Because this is So we're gonna be reacting to Captain America: Civil War, which came out in theaters in 2016, but is based on a story arc within the comic books from almost 10 years earlier.
Yeah.
And the story in the comic books, I mean, okay, so the MCU movies, they take inspiration from the comics, but they don't really follow any of the comic stories. No. So within the comic book, I don't think this is too much of a spoiler because it doesn't really line up with the movie itself. But within the comic book, there was this D-list superhero team that was out doing like effectively reality TV show. And they ended up in a situation that was way outside of their capability. And the villain that they were going after literally just like blew up. And not only took out that team, but also took out the neighboring neighborhood, which also included an elementary school. And the death toll was in the hundreds.
People don't realize how dark comic books used to be.
I mean, this was the early 2000s. I mean, like, well, okay, that's a much longer conversation, because you had I'm not gonna
don't touch it. Don't
I
touch
know.
it.
I sat there. I was going to go into like the Frederick Wortham Defense of the Innocents like rabbit hole, and then I was like,
don't do that.
nope.
Don't do that.
But needless to say, as comic books started to rebound from the saccharine 1960s, 1970s Silver Age and tried to go towards the modern 90s, early 2000s like grittiness that they were trying to embrace to effectively deconstruct superheroes away from how much they were, I guess, defanged. We ended up with, just stories like this. But the thing is that in the aftermath of this event, which only takes place within like the first 5 pages of this story arc,
Yeah.
all of a sudden the superheroes are just there in the rubble cleaning up and trying to figure out, okay, well, how did this happen? How do we prevent this from happening? Somebody needs to be held account for this. And the argument comes up where, well, superheroes or people with powers should be registered. So then it became this huge dividing line between Captain America and Iron Man, where Iron Man was pro-registration. He felt that everyone with powers should effectively be identified and be put into a national registry and have their secret identity made public. And Captain America, who you would think, well, everybody already knows who he is. I mean, he has nothing to hide. But he was like, no, that goes against our rights. That's complete violation of. So they were on opposite sides of this, and then after.
See that and that's where my conflict comes in.
Yeah.
Because I as a character like Tony Stark more than Captain America.
Yeah.
But this is where I disagree with Tony Stark
Well,
and agree with Captain America.
In the comics.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then once the Registration Act went into effect, now all of a sudden Captain America and all of the superheroes that were on his side suddenly became enemies of the state.
Yeah.
And then because of that, Iron Man and everyone that was following him were effectively tasked with hunting down the other half of the superhero community. And there was a little, and that's pretty much where the story, like, that's only like issue 2 or 3. Like that's really where it starts off, and it's like an 8-issue arc. But halfway through the series, Spider-Man does this 180 where he started off, I want to say he started off on Cap's side, and then he leaves Cap's side to join Iron Man's side. But in doing so, he had to register. So he held a press conference alongside Tony and took off his mask on national TV and was like, I'm Peter Parker. I've been Spider-Man ever since I was like a teenager. And the reaction to that was these panels of all of these people that are tangential to Spider-Man hearing the news for what is technically the first time for them, being like, what?
Yeah.
And J. Jonah Jameson literally like falls out of his chair. Like, so no, but that's in the comics. That's the story of Civil War. And here we are getting ready to watch it for ourselves. Anything else?
Push play.
Okay. Join us in the adventure. 1, 2, 3. Let's go.
Let's go. There's always some black site, isn't it?
I mean,
With Marvel, it's always some crazy black site.
this is one of my favorite Marvel characters of the MCU. I absolutely love the Winter Soldier. Probably because I ship him with Steve.
You what with?
I ship him with Steve.
Oh, okay. You want to talk about a tragic character?
Ooh.
Winter Soldier.
No, yeah. But that's the
Super
thing, though.
tragic.
In the relationship with him and Steve, I relate to Bucky. I empathize with the fact that he doesn't feel in control of his own mind.
Well, he's not.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Доброе утро, солдат.
Steve's blood.
Sugar in the raw. Best. You can't make good coffee without it.
Speaking of Wanda Maximoff,
Here she is.
there she is.
Eyes on target, folks.
Nobody notices a jet-powered drone just hanging out.
As opposed to what, little quadcopter?
Yeah, this is true too. Frickin' Penske.
Branding.
Yeah.
That's how.
Whenever you see a yellow box truck, it's a Penske truck.
I mean, have you ever driven a Penske truck?
Yeah. Yes, I have. Yesterday, as a matter of fact.
Oh, really? I had to drive one from Norfolk, Virginia, all the way up to Albany, New York. Albany, New York.
Somebody's been playing a little too much Call of Duty.
I used to have, in the early 2000s, about a dozen of the Tom Clancy games.
Tom Clancy, great games,
yes, but only because I knew my roommate wanted to play with them.
Oh, okay. Rainbow Six was awesome.
Sam?
Combo.
Yeah. I love that mask.
Crossbones?
Yeah.
Yeah. Clothesline.
Her superpower is she's f***ing gorgeous.
I mean, she's athletic.
Yeah, that too.
Oh, did I tell you my husband met her?
Oh, really?
At work, like a couple months ago. They threw an event.
There you go.
Human Shield.
Works, unfortunately.
As opposed to Shield. Bam.
Sam.
I feel you, Cap. I feel you.
Yeah, man.
My left hand still hurts from falling down the stairs.
Jesus.
I thought it was getting better, and then I had to assemble furniture last week. Whoops. Sucker punch?
Yep.
Yeah.
I wonder if she does that, or if she has a stunt double that does all that.
A lot of them do have stunt doubles. You'll notice for a lot of these shots, you don't see her
You see
face.
your face, yeah.
Yeah. It's all body and wig. And for all the times that we do see her face, it's a lot of like close-up choreography.
Yeah.
Don't thank me. His name is Red Wing.
In the comics, Red Wing is an actual bird.
This is for dropping a building on my face.
Oh, wait. This is the same guy from Captain America Winter Soldier. He was one of the SHIELD operatives. I forgot that connection.
Your pal, your buddy, your Bucky. What did you say? He remembered you.
I mean, it's like either a mass of people on the ground die, or a mass of people, maybe not a mass of people, in that,
The office building?
Yeah, it's
I know.
damn if you do, damned if you don't
I know.
situation.
I know. But then, she obviously feels responsible because she chose.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that can't be easy.
No. I like how they de-aged Robert Downey Jr. here.
Yeah, well, they had enough media to go off of.
Oh, yeah, please. He looks very weird sciencey.
Yeah. Mr. Softy T-shirt.
I know.
That's a regional thing. They don't have Mr. Softy outside the Northeast, I don't
Really?
think. Yeah.
I guess not.
Lee, you're going to miss us.
Mr. Softy, for if you guys don't know, is the premier ice cream truck in the Northeast.
Oh, God.
Any other opinions are invalid.
Driving through the neighborhood playing Claire de Lune.
I would never, ever, ever do that.
Regrets or just reliving memories?
Reliving that? Oh,
The
God.
last time you got to see your parents?
Oh, my God. Forget that mess.
I mean, that's like the complete antithesis of mindfulness.
Oh, God. Yeah, it is.
To clear traumatic memories.
Not so much clearing.
Help me out. What's the MIT mission statement? Generate, disseminate, preserve knowledge.
I have never heard that ever before.
So maybe,
I know. But, I mean, in the comics, Tony is an alumni from MIT.
okay.
I think, if anything, more so than like a mantra, but like a feeling at MIT, it always seemed like knowledge was meant to be shared.
Which it is.
Yes.
I agree with that.
Which is why, like, even to this day, all the graduate, master's thesis, everything is just like publicly available.
Yeah.
Like from any web browser anywhere, I could just search and be like, oh, hey, there's that paper. Like,
So much money! Wow!
this guy played the principal on the TV series Community, which was also show run by the same guys, the Russo brothers, who were directing this movie.
Okay.
They have a tendency to pull back characters from their previous shows.
That's cool.
I'm right where I want to be.
Okay, hey.
Could you imagine having to look over your shoulder like that? This is like seriously, like freaking random woman reaches in her purse, you think somebody's gonna shoot you.
Yes, I understand. Not quite how it happened in the comics, but
No.
So they took two incidents. They took this incident in Lagos, and they took Wachovia.
And created a narrative.
Yes, exactly.
No, that never happens in real life.
Victory at the expense of the innocent is no victory at all.
Ay. So let the madmen run free, and then you'll have a, escalation of dead people to several orders of magnitude. That's the logic. Good. These are the people in charge.
I should have clapped that bomb back. I almost had Bucky, and all of a sudden I was a 16-year-old kid again in Brooklyn. People died. It's on me.
Is it the trauma of loss that rattled Steve's cage?
Yep. And Bucky's a direct line to his own past, which is,
Yes,
by all rights, he should be dead by now.
of course.
I love this actor. He's been in so many good things.
Paul Bettany?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so many good things.
So he was in WandaVision.
He was also in A Knight's Tale. And
Oh,
he was
yes.
hilarious in A Knight's Tale.
Heath Ledger.
Yep.
Yes, I know. I love A Knight's Tale.
40 years in the Army never taught me.
Is this General Ross?
Don't know. He's a Secretary of State.
Yeah, he's the. Yeah,
I just don't know.
A great many people see you as heroes who would prefer the word vigilantes.
But what's the f***ing alternative, man?
I guess the question is, it's not so much an issue of accountability, but control.
Yeah, but
Because-
it's like the alternative is orders of magnitude worse. It's
Exactly.
not even debatable on any stage.
No, I get that. But I feel like, as much as they like to clothe it in the idea of
Some moral bullshit.
exactly, I think
sorry,
it's
I'm cursing a lot.
really an issue of the Secretary of State wanting more control over these individuals,
100%.
and it has
Is that
it has absolutely
freaking swamp that exists in politics, which we will not get into. But, I mean, and I guess it just bristles me up whenever
Reforms to make
happens.
the world a
Tell me, Captain, do you know where Thor and Banner are right now?
they're off in their own movies.
Yep.
And if we come to a decision you don't like,
Then you retire.
Forcibly.
And just like that, peacemakers become criminals.
There you go. Of course.
If you want to call the cops, that's okay too, I guess.
No.
Foreboding music.
Well, I mean,
See?
well,
Oh,
he knew exactly what to say to get what he wanted.
yeah. What are we hiding?
Information.
Information.
Yeah. There it is.
It's always the Russians. Dun, dun, dun. We're going to waterboard this guy. We're going to throw some electricity in here. What's going on here?
Hydra deserves its place on the ash heap.
I mean, his head wasn't that low to begin with.
And he could just open his mouth. Air.
Our very strength invites challenge. Challenge incites conflict. Oversight is not an idea that can be dismissed out of hand.
He ain't wrong. I don't totally agree with
So,
the avenue, but he's not wrong.
okay, so I agree with everything he said. I just don't think that the governing body that is trying to oversee them has their best interest.
No, 100%.
Exactly.
This is like, well, I got some animated before. It's like, nope.
no.
Absolutely not.
Because
You cannot have thieves guarding the bank vault.
I know.
You
But
know?
that's the thing, though. I feel like it will only... They will only allow the team to intervene when it benefits their interest.
100%.
Exactly.
100%. Like I said, this is where my not allegiance, but my affinity for Tony Stark swaps.
Okay.
You know, because this is just nope. Nope. I would rather die on my feet than freaking live on my knees.
I get it. I just don't understand how this one instance is enough to settle him with that much guilt.
It's not. It's just the straw that broke the camel's back.
Okay.
It's putting a face.
No, I get it. I get it. I get it.
This is the United Nations we're talking about.
But it's run by people with agendas. And
Boom. Thank you.
Yes.
if we sign this, we surrender our right to choose. Send
Yeah.
us somewhere we don't think
Yep.
we should.
Because
What if there's somewhere we may not be perfect, but the safest hands are still our own?
100%.
Okay, case closed.
there you go.
I have to go.
Passing of the loved one.
The loved one.
The loved one.
The loved one. And there's the people are like, oh, living forever would be great until that happens.
Of course.
The ones you love cannot come with you.
Of course not. I do love Peggy Carter.
Yep.
I think Kelly Atwell did an awesome job.
She did.
I like this quote right here.
She said, even if everyone
This.
is telling you that something wrong is something right, look them in the eye and say no, you move.
Because I think that, I mean, Steve quotes it later.
117 countries have come together to ratify the Sokovia Accords.
So the movie's equivalent of the Superhero Registration Act.
Yeah. Where have we seen that before in history?
I mean, everywhere something bad was about to happen.
Yeah. 1940s Germany, ring a bell.
Well, yeah, that's the former Weimar Republic.
Yeah.
Wakanda is proud to extend his hand in peace. Everybody get down!
Oh, and the blame game starts.
This movie doesn't like buildings.
No.
I forget this was the introduction of Black Panther.
Really?
Yeah.
Suspect, who they have identified as James Buchanan Barnes, the soldier, the infamous Hydra agent linked to numerous acts of terrorism and political...
But you would think there'd be more security around these things, no?
I mean...
A gathering...
I mean, for the sake of plot expediency, no.
I guess not.
Baron Zemo?
Mm-hmm.
No. They brought him back for the Winter Soldier Falcon TV show.
There's a TV show?
Yeah.
Huh, didn't know that.
Yeah, it was like right after WandaVision.
Mm.
It was interesting because they actually pulled off his comic accurate mask, like.
Ich stell das mal hier ab.
Es geht schon, es geht schon. Ich mache das.
It's like, don't worry about it. I'm all good.
Yeah. Just having some sane device in my room.
Nothing to see here. Convenient.
Very.
Crash bad? Oh, does he journal?
You must.
German special forces approaching from the south.
Is it weird to have a picture of your childhood friend in your journal?
A little bit.
Mm.
And there's his buddy.
This doesn't have to end in a fight, Buck.
It always ends in a fight.
5 seconds.
You pulled me from the river.
Breach! Buck, stop!
I'm gonna kill someone.
I think that's the point.
I'm not gonna kill anyone.
Not gonna kill anybody. Just batter them with a 30-pound piece of steel.
Der Verdächtige ist ausgebrochen. Er geht am östlichen Treppenschacht.
No.
I can understand where Steve's coming from, man, but...
Time to let him go?
I mean, it's... So now he's seen an Avenger siding with the guy everybody believes meant a terrorist attack.
Yeah, exactly.
It's putting everybody in an impossible position.
Of course. But how much do you feel this is a direct result of Peggy dying?
I don't know that those two things are intertwined. I'm not saying...
You don't think he's over...
No, I think because he knows that his friend is somewhere in there, but not him.
Yeah.
He's trying to get to the good part of him.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he's brainwashed.
Got him.
Lost a tail road authority. Wins every time.
What about the tail rotor?
So what he just did was knock out the tail rotor.
Yeah.
Which basically knocks out your tail rotor authority, the helicopter's ability to control yaw, basically side to side.
Yeah.
And when a helicopter loses its tail rotor authority, it just spins.
Oh, there you go.
And ultimately crashes.
Well, that makes sense.
There should be like an enhanced Olympics. Usain Bolt got nothing on them.
I mean, it's not an action film until there's a chase, right?
Right? For real.
I mean, that's
a foot chase, right?
I know. But we had to replace it with some product placement.
Yep. Some mediocre German cars.
My neighbor in the parking garage just bought a new Audi. Doesn't know how to...
Audi makes an incredible vehicle. These are not the incredible vehicles.
I'm just saying. Doesn't know how to park for shit.
Oh, that happens with drivers of German vehicles here in the States. They generally do not know how to use things like turn signals and brakes, steering wheels. But the Audi R8 Spider, what an incredible vehicle. Incredible piece of engineering.
What is a Spider?
It's a level of a Audi. So you got the Audi R8, comes in different trim levels and different packages. The Spider
I think what I'm really asking is this like a sedan or is this like something else?
No, it's an exotic sports car.
Okay, there you go. That's the answer to the question I was asking.
Okay.
Whoops. What? Now it feels like he's just showing off. War Machine.
Congratulations, Cap. You're a criminal.
I mean, the Accords were never signed.
Pinch of paprika.
World's going to pot. Let's do some cooking. I like it.
Synthesoid foodie.
Hey, he's trying. He's trying.
Make his girlfriend happy with food.
It works.
I haven't actually ever eaten anything before, so...
That's something that I just can't do, is cook to taste.
Okay.
Because, like, I'll follow a recipe. I can measure things all day long, but, like...
Because you have, basal understanding what dish is supposed to taste like, sure.
Because I'll just eat whatever.
I don't know what this is.
It's Infinity Stone.
Well, yes.
There you go.
For those of us who are a dozen movies ahead.
Oh, that's right. This is before that?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, because Thanos rips it out of his forehead.
I remember that part.
I mean, spoilers for anybody who hasn't seen a movie that's 10 years old.
For real.
Oh, God.
I'm gonna go to the store.
Her way of saying, I do not want to have this conversation.
Hey, been there.
Yeah, same.
Mr. Stark would like to avoid the possibility of another public incident.
You're under house arrest.
Accords are on
Berlin.
That thing would topple over. Give me a break. That was made out of the material it's supposed to be made out of.
No.
You can quote me on that because I just said it. Anything else?
Consequences?
Secretary Ross wants you both present.
Secretary Ross, yes. So it's the same General Ross that used to hunt down the Hulk.
Yeah.
And then in the upcoming Captain America movie is going to play President of the U.S. But the actor passed away, so they replaced him with Harrison Ford.
Harrison Ford's a good choice.
Yeah. I mean, he's played President before.
Yep. That experience.
There you go. Airtight?
Probably. Probably very, controlled environment.
Yeah.
If I see a situation pointed south, I can't ignore it. I wish I could.
No, I don't.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
We need you, Cap.
Your son, Barnes gets transferred to an American psych center instead of a Wakandan prison.
That's not much better.
So we think.
I'm doing what has to be done to stave off something worse.
He ain't wrong either.
Yeah, no. I mean,
because
they're both
it's
in
going to happen,
Yeah.
right? If we don't sign, they're going to
come after us.
Yeah.
Exactly. But
I see both sides.
And that's the best part, is because... Oh, that's right.
your first name is James?
I'm still trying to figure out how Zemo got in here.
For real, right?
Like
how did he infiltrate that?
I'm guessing he probably took over the identity of whoever was supposed to be there, but how did he know?
Well, like, how deep does Hydra's tendrils go?
Into everything, because that's what Winter Soldier was all about.
Mm.
They had people in all levels of all. What's in the box?
What's in the box?
I've never seen that movie either.
I don't know. That's one we could react to.
I mean, I know it's ahead.
Why would the task force?
Whoever framed him would get him. It guarantees that we would.
Yeah, put the pieces together a little quicker. Come on. Oh, okay. So this location close enough to the power station is gonna, I guess, knock out. Yeah. Makes sense.
EMP.
EMP. So now.
Okay, nobody has a backup generator?
Well,
come on. Well, EMP will knock that out too. But still, it's supposed to be like a black site. What do you think about that?
I mean, this might not be a priority system that needs power to be restored right away.
You would think confinement in a black site, or the black site itself, would be protected against EMP.
I mean,
basic safety protocol.
Well,
Air Force One is protected against EMP.
The expediency of story.
Oh, we'll get that.
So is his left arm cybernetic?
Yeah, all the way up to the shoulder.
Oh yeah, because it can detach. Is he ready to take orders?
Mission report. December 16, 1990.
All this to get information.
Bro, you have no powers. What are you fucking toe to toe with Winter Soldier, man? You gotta let Cap take this one.
What's a few taps between friends?
Down an elevator, chef, you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, you're lucky you're alive.
Just got his bell rung.
Please tell me you brought a suit.
Sure did. It's a lovely Tom Ford 3-piece 2-button.
Follow me.
We got a suit.
We've got a suit.
We're in position.
Piece of a suit. Oof.
Tony, you have no powers either.
Sure.
You have a suit. And a freaking, arc generator in your chest.
Arc generator,
Lady,
chest, and repulsor glove at this point.
Yeah, what do we think is going to happen there?
Nope.
At least recognize me.
Let's go fly a helicopter.
God, it's been so long since I've seen this. I thought this was in the other film. And I remember being in the theaters watching this and everybody laughing because well, there goes your helicopter.
Try to kill him with the rotor blades.
I see that.
So the alarms you heard were over torque. And over speed.
Okay, Bucky's just getting way into choking right now.
Well, if you had a metal arm, that's your primary weapon right there.
Whee!
All right.
Into the drink.
Remember your freaking dunk training? There you go, guys.
Yeah,
Upside down helicopter.
Okay. So, that is past the halfway point. I completely...
Well, I mean, the cameras are doing fine.
Cameras are doing fine for now, but I sat there and I was like, wait a minute, this is past the scene where we were going to stop.
Marvel does a good job sometimes.
They do a good job. So, yeah. I don't remember nearly as much of this movie as I thought I did.
I mean, I think because there's so many of these movies out there.
Yeah.
That if you're not up to them, they kind of mesh.
Well, in the early days, because there were so few of them, you could have like a rewatch party where you could watch like the 3 or 4 movies that led up to the next movie that you're about to watch. But like once it gets past like a dozen, it's like what you're devoting entire weekends to watch like
more than that. Yeah,
I know.
Yeah, the MCU in its last iteration was, oh my god, how many movies deep?
I think the 4th phase had like 20 movies alone. I know. Well, the thing is that as much as I love Marvel, I feel like the MCU did a disservice in their most recent phase because I felt like the amount of quantity that went out made their quality suffer.
Well, I think part of the problem
is
that these characters got so wildly popular in these roles that while in canon, right, this is all very truncated. In reality, these characters are aging. The actors are aging out of the character, so they have to tie a bow around this.
Not just that, but the fact that like new issues of a comic book series for the main publishers come out once per month. And the thing is that most story arcs, because a lot of publishers and a lot of writers are now writing towards the trade paperbacks.
Yeah.
So the individual issues end up in these capsules of like 6-issue story arcs.
Okay.
So now you have like 2 story arcs per year. And then each story arc can span like what? A handful of days?
Yeah.
So then like a handful of days over the course of like multiple years. Because so the thing is that like, yeah, it is truncated within the source material, but that's because even though there's a sliding timescale of the comics keeping track with where the world is as far as technology is concerned, the characters have barely aged over the last 60, 70 years.
That's right.
And then you have instances where they will try to pull the clock back and make them younger again and make them more relatable again and put them in situations where it's like, oh, you know, well, they're young and single again. Don't you want to read about them? Like,
no, we don't.
But that's the thing, though.
These are these beloved characters, and this is where, you know, it's gonna be interesting to see how they ever use Iron Man again. Who could you see being Tony Stark other than Robert Downey Jr.? Good luck.
Well, that's the thing, though. I feel like it's an. I feel like it's an all or nothing. I feel like it's. The thing is, even the comic book publishers never do this right, because 2015, both mainline publishers, DC and Marvel, had line-wide events that were effectively going to reboot their universes.
Yeah.
DC had Convergence, Marvel had Secret Wars. And when the problem is that they sit there and they play this lip service to the fact that it's like, oh yeah, you know, it's a great jumping on point. It's like everything's zeroed back to like issue 1. Like everybody can just like start here, which is a great selling point for people that aren't into comics, who want to get into comics, who need a place to like just slot themselves in.
Yeah.
But then the publishing houses end up doing this disservice where they're like, well, this character within this series has good numbers, so we're gonna like reset the entire universe except them. So now it's like, like, because there was a while there, I think after Infinite Crisis, DC 2005, where it felt like everything had this. No, I think it was Flashpoint 2009, where everything had this reboot where it got pulled back, except for the Green Lantern series, because Green Lantern, under the tutelage of writer Jeff Johns, was actually doing really solid. So they were like, okay, well, everything is like back to square one, except for Green Lantern. But now it's like, anytime these characters have to like bump up against him, it's like, well, this doesn't exactly line up.
Yeah. It's gonna be interesting see how Marvel reboots the MCU.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I think it needs to be an all or nothing thing.
Yeah, well, and it's gonna be really interesting, right? Because Robert Downey Jr. is playing Dr. Doom.
Yeah, but it's gonna be a multiverse alternate iteration. I know. Which in and of itself,
like when they first announced Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark for the first Iron Man, I was like, that guy?
Well,
really?
Honestly,
and then I saw him. I'm like, yes.
But even before I saw the first Iron Man, I thought to myself, I was like, everything that I know about Iron Man as far as like the Demon in the Bottle storyline, I was like, that tracks with Downey Jr.
Sure. And now it's like, who's going to play Tony Stark?
Exactly.
And
here's the thing.
I hope they don't do a disservice and pick somebody bad.
So I see two paths before them.
Mm-hmm.
Either A, line-wide reboot. Secret Wars, this crossover movie that is on the horizon, is a perfect reset point where it's like effectively the entire multiverse collapses and you can just start over from scratch.
Okay.
It's like, oh, hey, in saving the multiverse, we effectively had to just like scrap everything and we're starting over. So fine, line.
Well, but it's
no,
kind of like Batman, right?
But that's what I'm saying. Line-wide reboot.
Yeah.
Or move forward with everyone that you have now. Keep who you want to keep in the mantle that they hold, or anyone that isn't ends up handing that on to the next generation. Which, effectively, the upcoming Captain America movie, which is still within this phase, is Falcon taking over as Captain America. I think.
See, the problem is, it's like, like I just said, Batman. Look at Batman. You have some actors who knocked it out of the park.
Yes.
Okay? And have some like, okay,
George Clooney.
That's a B-roll movie.
I know.
That's not a Batman movie. Like,
I remember in theaters watching Batman and Robin with you.
It's just, and I just don't want to see Marvel go the way of, and I love Batman movies.
Yeah.
All right. But there's only 2 good actors in that entire series.
I mean, I love Christian Bale.
Christian Bale
was
Michael
great.
Keaton. Everybody else?
Really?
God.
I feel like Michael Keaton I feel like Michael Keaton for the sense of nostalgia from like when I first saw it as a child growing up. But like Michael Keaton was also competing at that time when 9-year-old Alex was actually more interested in watching Adam West than Michael Keaton. No, but I'm just saying. I'm saying 9-year-old Alex.
I understand.
Because I'm saying when the first Batman came out. Because I said
none of the other Batmans compared to those two.
I love Christian Bale.
Christian Bale's Batman is awesome. Michael Keaton's Batman is awesome. Everybody else is like,
I can't even remember Val Kilmer.
I actively push these other actors out of my brain.
Yeah.
It's traumatic. It's like, why? What?
I know.
It's like I want to bleach my eyes after watching those freaking movies.
So,
Arnold Schwarzenegger is Dr. Freeze. Come on. And I love Schwarzenegger.
Mr. Freeze.
Yeah. Mr. Freeze.
Yes. Which, okay. Mr. Freeze was a D-list villain that was not given any attention or respect until the animated series.
Okay.
And once they introduced his character with that story, all of a sudden it was like, and Heart of Ice received an Emmy for animated for that episode.
That's awesome.
Yes.
But we have gone off the rails.
One last thing that I want to say. For any of my shippers that are out there, I love the idea of Stucky. Whatever, you'll catch on. I love the idea of Stucky, but the thing is that I believe that their relationship is obviously greater than platonic. Steve and Bucky. Because
okay, so when you said Stucky, I'm like, what are we talking about?
Yeah. I believe that their relationship is obviously greater than platonic. I feel like it falls strongly within filial. I believe that like they see each other as brothers, they see each other as family. I
agree with that.
As much as I would like to see it reach the level of agape, I don't see them as a romantic pairing.
Okay.
And
you have to break what's agape?
Romantic love.
Okay.
And then I mean the far extreme of that, which all the fan fiction is just pure eros. Is just
again, you're using acronyms. What's this?
No, just it's the Greek word for erotic love. Yes. And the thing is that like they're definitely more than platonic, and I definitely see them as filial. But as much as I want to see them as romantic,
It's not there.
it's not there. But
It's not even remotely that.
it's not there. But I will not disagree with the people that want to see it.
I would.
I get it.
I would 100%.
There you go.
Because I mean, it's familial 100%. You know, Steve sees Bucky as his, familial bro. I have
Yes.
those familial bonds with people who are not blood related. I get that 100%.
I mean,
But
case in point.
I think that is where it ends.
No, I get that. But I just love the pairing of Stucky.
Okay.
And if you would like to see us react to more, help us do all those YouTube things. Like, comment, subscribe.
Tell your friends. Tell your family. Tell perfect strangers who might be named Stucky.
Stucky.
The boys at GVSV are having a good old time.
No one's named Stucky. Join
I
us.
didn't know what freaking Stucky was until you just explained it to me. You're just making shit up.
We'll just put like the total Stucky like fan fiction total from AO3 here.
AO3?
Archive of our own. We've discussed this way too many times. Join us this venture. 1, 2, 3. Let's go.
I need whiskey.